Bethesda Covenant Church's last worship service was on Sunday, April 19th, 2009, which was exactly 130 years and 1 month from when it was formally organized in 1879. At the time of its closing, Bethesda Covenant Church was the oldest covenant church in the East Coast Conference of the Evangelical Covenant Church denomination. Bethesda was a very welcoming community. One of the things that I particularly liked about it was that if you missed a couple Sundays, somebody would be in touch with you and ask you, are you okay? Is there anything that I can do for you? Bethesda was fondly known as the UN Church. Not just because we met in the Church Center of the United Nations, but more so because of our ethnic diversity. There were several important life events. We were married in the Bethesda Covenant Church. And then later, when our son came along, he was baptized on Easter Sunday. They were very supportive. When my father passed away right before my wedding, they were supportive when my mother passed away in later years. We were at the Church Center of the United Nations for 33 years. So when the church was asked to leave, we were sad, because we had a nice arrangement there. We had a beautiful chapel. So we looked around to determine where we could go. And we ended up at the Vanderbilt YMCA on 47th Street. And then when we decided to go full-time pastors, we were there for another year. And then we moved to the Turtle Bay Music School. When Bethesda finally closed in 2009, I was very disappointed. Our church family that we were very close-knit with was going to be split up. Sometime after it closed, we were kind of at a loss as to where we would continue to go to church. Because we were part of the covenant, we were aware that Hope Astoria was starting up. And from the first time we went there, we said, that's it, we're not looking anywhere else. We felt so at home at Hope Astoria. And then they decided they were ready to start a church in Manhattan. And after one of our meetings, Pastor Drew Hunt said, we're going to go take a walk. I'm going to show you where we're going to start meeting. And he didn't tell us where we would be meeting. So we walked from 60-something Street down to 52nd Street, and he stops in front of the Turtle Bay Music School. And I'm like, are you not aware that this is where Bethesda Covenant Church last met? He had no idea. I was just so excited because it was like coming home. And so Pastor Drew likes to say that one covenant church died at the Turtle Bay Music School, but another covenant church was resurrected here. So it was new life, new hope. And so I felt really, really at peace. He wanted the church, and he envisioned the church to be more than just you attending worship services on Sunday morning. His vision was that the congregation would be kept small because he felt that you should know and need to know who's sitting next to you in church, so that you are there for one another. You get to know one another. It's about being a community, not just attending worship services, and being there to support one another outside of church. Support financially, or if someone is ill and needs you to do errands, or to help somebody who's feeling down in his or her faith. to drive somebody somewhere, and to do things together. Bethesda and Hope are similar in that the people in the congregation truly and sincerely care about one another beyond seeing one another in the Sunday worship service. That was the feeling that we got from the very beginning, and have had that at all the different churches that we've been to for Hope. I feel a lot of excitement to be part of this process of opening new churches and getting the word out there to different neighborhoods. And it's not forced on anybody to come, but people are coming. And there's always the concern that 30 people leave and start a new church, what's going to happen? But we managed to fill in the seats somehow. More people are coming. It's exciting, and we have new pastoral residents at Hope Midtown, and hopefully that will bring in more families and more ethnic and generational diversity in the church, which would be wonderful because that's what Bethesda was. I'm anxious to see that happen.